U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is calling for the immediate release of detained Americans in Russia. In a phone call today with his Russian counterpart, Blinken called the detention of journalist Evan Gershkovich unacceptable and to immediately release wrongfully detained American citizen Paul Whelan. Former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations and former New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson joins us now. Governor, great to see you. Thanks so much for being with us. We all know you played a key role in the release of basketball player Brittney Griner from a Russian prison 3 months ago. That was a welcome relief to a lot of Americans. Are you involved in any negotiations that are happening potentially right now to get these Americans released?
Well, Jim, I just got back from a successful mission to Mexico this weekend where we freed an American Navy veteran, James Friswold, from a Mexican prison. He'd been there 13 years, wrongfully charged, declared innocent. So I haven't been totally up to speed. I do think it's important. First of all, if I am to get involved to help, the family of Evan, of the journalist, has to request that. We don't charge them anything. We don't work for the government, but we have our ways, as you mentioned, with Griner and Trevor Reed, to have had some success with the Russians. I think the Secretary of State did the right thing, calling Foreign Minister Lavrov, who's a practical guy. At that level, I think the negotiation should happen. There's channels that are lower level that maybe have not worked so well, but this one, I think this call was good. They should keep talking to each other, and I believe there will be progress. But I'm ready to help. I'm ready to get involved. I don't need the okay from the U.S. government, but I do need a request from the family, and that's up to them. But I'm ready to help.
And Governor, I have to ask you your thoughts on a U.S. journalist being detained. Apparently, this is the first time this has happened since the Cold War, that you've seen a U.S. journalist detained for espionage in Russia. What do you make of that?
Well, I think there are three reasons why the Russians did this. One, the deteriorating relationship between the U.S. and Russia. It's hit rock bottom, and that's not good. Secondly, this is an espionage charge. Now, obviously, Evan was doing this job. He's a good journalist. But with the Russians, as they have with Paul Whelan, the espionage charge is something that is most serious to them, and they use that rather frivolously. Third, there was a detainee from Russia that was indicted in Brazil by the Justice Department. So it's a little bit of a tit for tat. But this is very disturbing. This is leveling higher the issue of American hostages and hostages around the world. I think journalists are being the most vulnerable worldwide. I think, Jim, what is needed is an international effort, intelligence gathering, not just the U.S., but the European Union, African nations, Middle East nations. Because what is happening with Iran, Venezuela, Russia, many other countries, they are taking hostages, especially journalists, as bargaining chips. And that's really unacceptable. I think there has to be an international effort. You know, the British, a lot of their hostages are taken. All around the world, this is happening. And we have to have a multilateral front. And I think the media has to play a role. On the Griner case, there was a very effective media campaign. And here, not just the Wall Street Journal, a very respected newspaper, but the international media community has to rise up and raise the level of consciousness of journalists and many others being taken as hostages, as bargaining chips around the world.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see that. There's no question about it. And some of that has already begun. But, you know, Paul Whelan, the former U.S. Marine, is still in a Russian prison serving out a 16-year sentence for the same, or sort of the same espionage charges as Gershkovich. He was not included in that release of Brittney Griner. That was a one-for-one deal. Could he be part of a two-for-two arrangement? Is that something that could be worked out this time around? Was there any indication on the Russian side of things that Whelan might be a little closer, edging closer to being part of some kind of a deal?
Well, I think the administration effectively had wanted a 2 for 2, but that didn't happen at the last minute. The Russians said 1 for 1, Whelan for boot, Brittany Griner for boot. Now, my concern is that the Whelans, a Marine, who's not as prominent as Evan, the journalist, is kind of sidelined. I think we have to press for both. And there are 3 others there too. We're working on them, 3 other Americans that I believe are wrongfully detained. So I think we have to have high-level contact, but also outside people. The administration should reach out to other entities that have ties in Russia to make sure that we bring, especially not just Evan, but Paul Whelan home. Here's a Marine. He's been there 4 years, wrongfully detained. This espionage charge is not real, as it isn't for Evan, but it's
Right.
got to be negotiated. Diplomacy, contact, engagement. You can't just throw darts at each other. I think we got to talk and separate humanitarian issues from the geopolitical issues that separate the U.S. and Russia and the whole Ukraine issue.
Yeah, and Governor, let me ask you this, and this I think dovetails off of the conversation that we're having. Russia is now heading the UN Security Council, as you know. It's a rotating presidency. But I mean, given what is happening in Ukraine right now, given Russia's pattern of taking Americans hostage, I know you were the UN ambassador for the U.S. during the Clinton administration. What's your response to that? I mean, should the rest of the world just accept that the Russians are going to be heading up the UN Security Council? What do you think?
Well, look, you can't do much about it because there's a veto power that the Russians have. It's only for 30 days. And then it's a rotating Security Council. So chairmanship. So this happens. And you got to deal with it. You got to be pragmatic. I think this is why high-level bilateral and multilateral contacts are needed to deal with hostages. But again, this can be vetoed by the United States. I'm not talking about the chairmanship, but all kinds of issues. The United States, Russia, China, Britain, and France. But we can't do anything about it. They're Security Council president for 30 days. It's unfortunate, but it's happening, and it's going to happen. We should deal with other issues to get our hostages out, and that should be the primary responsibility of this administration. Get our hostages out, our veterans. There are over 70 wrongfully detained. There are others like Griswold that I just got out that are unlawfully detained and rotting in prisons around the world.
Yeah. Well, it's very important work that you do. Best of luck. And keep us posted if you get any kind of contact from the Gershkovich family. I suspect you might get a phone call.
Thank you.
Thanks, Governor.